Hello, welcome back. So I have an idea for this jellyfish mold, and I got the idea while I was making the little beachy jellyfish about turning it upside down, because to me it kind of looks like a sacred heart, kind of. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of play around and see what I can come up with. So I have 20 ml of resin broken up into 3 little pots, and I'm going to be adding bronze gold to 1, scarlet to 1, and then I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with the other one. So I'm trying to get these little bags open, and you know how much I hate these little bags, especially when I'm wearing gloves. So while I'm getting them out, I'm just going to take off one of my gloves so I can actually articulate the top of this little packet. Just have my little plastic Scoopy Doodle here. Going to go in with some bronze gold. Close that up. Open up the scarlet. I've got both of those. I am going to grab my berry red ER Court Art resin pigment, and now put my glove back on and we'll stir up some pigments. All right, so there's that. My paper towel. I just want to let these sit for a little bit, see if any little nibbly bits come to the top, and I don't see any. So into this red, now that I've got the mica mixed up, I am going to add 2, because I want it fairly red. 2 drops of the berry. Just to deepen up that color a little bit. Yeah, I like that. That looks good. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of my clear here, just on this end, to give the resin something to flow into. And I'm going to go in with my gold. let that do its thing. Add 3 drops of the berry to the clear, because I didn't want to do that beforehand because I wanted it clear. And now pour the clear berry in. Clear berry? Well, the transparent berry. Let's put it that way. All right. Now we're just going to let that do its thing. Move around and clean up my little mess here a little bit, just so it's not quite so prevalent. I am digging the way that that's looking. So we're just going to let that sit and figure stuff out and move around. And we'll see what happens. Excuse me, it is time to demold. I apologize about the fan in the background, but it is about 78 degrees in my office right now, so let's get this guy out and see what the other side looks like. Here we go. Oh, wow. Actually looks quite pretty. Let's see, the red and the gold. This side is very red. So I think I favor this side because it's got more of the red in it. I mean, this side is quite lovely, don't get me wrong, but I think I enjoy the subtle gold instead of the, gold. So what I'm thinking, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is, because if you're familiar with Sacred Hearts, you know how there's the barbed wire that runs through the middle at an angle. I believe I'm going to do that, only I'm trying to find, I think I'm going to do it in blue crushed glass. And I just got this from Michael's. It's basically mirrored safety glass that they have shattered and made into chunks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to some out, and you can see the mirrored aspect of them, but I'm going to get out the really big chunks because I don't want big, huge chunks. And when you're messing with crushed glass, obviously, please be careful. It's glass. It's sharp. Okay, I think I've gotten out most of the big pieces. No, that one's fine. That one, a little too big. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to take my Resiner's UV resin here and make a moat, for lack of a better term. One thing I do want to do before I do that, though, is I do want to plug in my UV light so I can have that at hand. Now, I'm going to make sort of a wavy gravy line and take my glass and just drop those pieces into that line. So this is not going to be, you know, a 100% accurate representation of a Sacred Heart, but it is going to be representative of it. And this has always been one of my favorite pieces of religious iconography, is the Sacred Heart. I'm just going to sort of maneuver that around, and then we'll go in with our UV light and cure that for a moment, and I'll be back. Okay, so now that that is cured, I'm going to go in and do the same thing, only at a different angle. And then go in with my glass. Oops. Got a couple of rogue pieces there. Okay. Now, curing part 2. Be right back. Okay, so if you know a Sacred Heart, you know that it traditionally has a golden crown, which, you know, we're gonna cheat and use our jellyfish tentacles to represent our crown. So I'm putting my UV down, and I'm going to be using gold crushed glass for this. And it's not super gold, it's a subtle gold mirror. Gold mirrored crushed glass. It's not like super gold, but it does have gold tints to the actual mirror of it. Sorry, rummaging off camera for appropriately sized glass niblets. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this part cured. I'll be right back. Okay, so that's all done. And now, what I'm going to do is take my gold Let's Resin chrome marker, and go around the edges. To further gild the lily, as it were. And I'm going to try to do the crown as best I can. It is going to be a little bit hard because it is a little bit fiddly. But just give it some accents. And there we have it. Just a very simple, lovely little Sacred Heart. You know, nothing terribly fancy, nothing terribly extravagant, just a really pretty would make a lovely sun catcher. Just a very pretty little decorative piece. So I hope you guys like it. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you on the next one. Take care. Cheers.